let's talk about all the books that I want to read, hopefully at the end of October and all through November. Welcome to this House of Walls. My name is Ashley, and here I love to talk all things secular homeschooling and books and whatever else. I am also sick. We have a cold going through the house, but I have videos planned and I did not do enough pre-recording, so I did have to put myself together and get a nice cup of coffee to help, because I do want to talk about these books. I think it's fun, and I like the way that I have set up kind of my TBR shelf of possibilities. So I'm going to take a sip of this very full cup of coffee, and then we'll kind of get into these shelves. Alright, so I had done a video like this on my book channel, but now I have combined, and I just have the one channel, and it is going so well. Thank you to everyone who is watching all of the content that I put up there. Obviously, YouTube is not pushing my book channels as much, but I'm going to continue posting them because it's what makes me happy. So, thank you for tuning in and watching this. Here is my nightstand. This is where I put all of my books of possibilities. I do have a little basket underneath that basically holds stuff when I am having some PMDD symptoms, so that is there. And then everything else is all book related. On the top is my current book. So I am currently listening to Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. I have not read any of their books yet. This was a first. I saw it and thought, that is gorgeous. It's fantasy. Tell me more. So there's a little bookmark. I am like 150 pages in, 147 pages, chapter 18, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm listening to it on audio, and it's been nice as I am laying here and not feeling good to put on audio and not scroll as much. I definitely haven't done that today, but hopefully this evening I can read a good chunk. So that stays on the top of my nightstand, there and ready when I need it. Now let's get into all these books. You can't really tell, but it is double stacked. This is all of my possibilities. I don't make hardcore like monthly TBRs anymore. There are of course books that I need to get read in a certain month for like book clubs or challenges, stuff like that. But everything else is just, hey, maybe I want to get to that and read it. So this is what I have. I think we're just going to start at the top and work our way down and then get to the back stack as well. My first little stack of books are books that I have set aside for certain reasons. Like, I do need to read them. This one, not so much, but I have The Late Night Witches by R.Lee Wallace. I've been holding on to this. Next week is Halloween, and I want to read this over Halloween. I think that it would just be a lot of fun to have a witchy book on Halloween. So I am going to be reading this. This is a warm and funny novel about family, love, and lost, discovering who you are and how difficult it is to slay a vampire. I'm here for it. So that is the first one. The next book is one that I do need to read in the beginning of November because I am hosting a book club, and that is Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. So this you are following, messy on the back. In this one, you're following a crow, and his name is ST, short for shit turd. He loves to spend his days hanging out with his owner, Big Jim, and eating Cheetos. And all of a sudden, one day, Big Jim's eyeballs fall out of his head. So he goes on a mission to figure out what is happening and realizes that this is happening to all of humanity, and is there a way that he can fix it? So I'm really excited to pick this one up. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, this is a first in a duology, and so if I like the first one, which I'm really hoping that I do, I'm going to be getting the second one and continue on. I have been working really hard to read series consecutively this year, and it's been going really well. My brain just doesn't hold on to, like, books, like the details of books, when I don't read them pretty quickly. And so this I had already pulled aside to read on my own in a stack of series, which I will update. I have a little stack of series that I might do a little video with sometime showing what I have next in my series that I want to read. But luckily, my book club picked this book to read, and so we're going to be reading that. The next book that I have is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. So this is the first prequel in President Snow point of view, and I am going to be reading this. I have never read it before, but my 9th grader is currently reading Mockingjay, and then I gave him the option, like, okay, so you finished the trilogy or will finish the trilogy. Do you want to read other things or do you want to read the prequels? And he said that he wants to read the prequels. So I like to read the books that he is reading as well and have an idea about them. Obviously, I also love The Hunger Games, and I will be reading this one as well. I need to get on this pretty quickly. He has a handful of tabs left, and then he will be starting this, so we'll see. My next book, I am planning to pick up and read chunks of it all through November. But I do the buzzword reading challenge put on by Books and Lala, and the prompt for November is to have a book with Never, and I have Never Whistle at Night. This is an Indigenous dark fiction anthology. So we'll see. We will be carrying over some of the spooky vibes from October and Halloween into November, but I have really wanted to pick this up for a while, so I'm excited to fit this one in. My other book club is going to be reading Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConney. I can't remember what this one is about. Oh, it's set on an island near Antarctica where there's not many people there. It used to be full of researchers, but the sea levels are rising and a woman mysteriously washes ashore. A novel of breathtaking twists, dizzying beauty, and ferocious love, Wild Dark Shore is about the impossible choices we make to protect the people we love, even as the world around us disappears. That's right, this is a climate fiction book, but I've heard it's so good, so I'm really excited to read this. All right, first stack done. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I'm making it through. Even in my neon pink sweatshirt. But I got it as a joke from a thrift store because my husband always wears like neon orange t-shirts. He swears that they are comfy. I think he also gets a kick that they irritate me. So I got this as a joke when I saw it at a thrift store, and it is the comfiest sweatshirt that I own. So cheers. The next book that I have is Isola by Allegra Goodman. I do already have the audio of this. That's why it is kind of here in this stack, because I have the audio and I want to read it. I think that this cover is absolutely gorgeous. So, an unforgettable story of love, faith, and defiance. Ooh, inspired by the real life of a 16th century heroine, Isola is the timeless story of a woman fighting for survival. I'm totally excited about all of that. And then speaking of series, I have a couple of books that are part of series, and the next book in the series has either come out or will be coming out. So the first one that I have is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I did get the new cover of it. I did not like the first cover, and this one is absolutely gorgeous. So I have already read this, but the second one is coming out November 19th, I think. And my goal is that I would like to reread this and be ready before the new one comes out. I will see if that happens. This is a chunk of a book, but I do own the audio of it already. So I could easily, knock it out over some time. But this one, I just absolutely loved it. This is on my list to reread, and then not shown here is the second one, which I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put a picture up here, and hopefully I will be getting to that one. And then this one actually just showed up today as I was getting ready to film, but that is The Things Gods Break by Abigail Owen. This is book 2 after What is the first one called? Oh, The Games Gods Play. So that is book 1. I read it end of last year, beginning of this year, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. So I decided to pick up the second one, and it is gorgeous. And so I'm really excited to get into this one and see where the story takes us. I don't know that I will read the first one again. I think that I remember enough of it that hopefully I can just get into this one and see. But if I get into this one and I'm not remembering enough, I might pause it and reread the first one. All right, so that is the whole front stack here. Now, I do have this one. This is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Obviously, this is the second prequel and is following Haymitch's story. So eventually I will be getting to this one, not in November, but I just have it here to hold its place and remind me I do need to get to it. All right, so the next little chunk of books that I have here is to continue the fall vibes. I am not ready for Christmassy books yet. I'm not ready for like winter books. I want to keep these fall vibes going. Where I live, we are just getting into that fall weather, so I want to continue enjoying it. Maybe by the end of November, I will be pulling in some Christmas books, but I don't know. We'll see. So the first one that I have that I just haven't gotten to yet is Keeper of the Enchanted Rooms by Charlie N. Holmberg. This is a man inherits a house in Rhode Island in 1846, and weird things start to happen in it. And so a woman comes to help sort the house out. Then my book of the month for October, I picked Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews. I picked this on a whim, but I'm really hoping that I will like this. I have not liked really any of Book of the Month's picks lately. I'm having a hard time with it, but I had the credit and I thought that this one looked interesting. It's gothic horror, usually not totally my go-to, but there's been some cases where I like that. On the back it says, "There is something wrong in the garden." Really cool. Oh yeah, there's a boy who lives like a ghost in the forgotten corners of the Hazelthorn estate. And he has 3 rules. He can never leave the estate, he can never go into the garden, and most importantly, he can never again be left alone with Byron's charming, underachieving grandson, Laurie. I thought that would be fun. This actually has not been released and published yet. Somehow it's not being published until like the very end of October. It's fun to have it now, and hopefully I get to it sometime. I have 3 Grady Hendrix books, and I have not read a single one. I need to read them. So of course I'm going with the largest one, but this is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. This was a book club option, but we decided to go with something more lighthearted. That's why we chose Hollow Kingdom. But this takes place in the 1970s at a house where unwed mothers go to have their children and then forget about having a child, I think. So I think that the girls kind of take down the system. I am there for it. I love all of those vibes, and we'll see. But I've got to pick up one of their books already. A Land So Wide by Erin A. Craig. Talked about this, forget when I talked about this book last, but I think in my fall books that I wanted to read. I love the cover and the vibes that this is giving it. The town of Mistaken has a secret. Canadian wilderness. A man disappears. Deeply atmospheric adult debut. Stunning celebration of one woman's unrelenting bravery on a quest to reclaim her lost love and seize her own future. That sounds great. The last in this little stack here is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I have read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, and this is the prequel to it. I have heard that you don't necessarily need to read those 2 books to read this, but that it might be helpful, but I think that this takes a totally kind of different turn and you learn more about the gods. I'm excited to pick this one up. I liked the first book, which was Ruthless Vow, Divine Rival. I can't remember. The first one, I liked that one. I did not like the second one as much. So I'm really hoping that I do enjoy this. My last stack here is kind of my pile of shame. These are all part of my self-destruct pile of books that basically I have to read these books before the end of the year or I get rid of them. And I am obviously way far behind. I had only picked 12 and I have 5 unread. There should only be 2 left. So I might do a reading vlog at some point deciding what the books that I have left, but I would like to try to prioritize these. So the books that I still have are The Martian by Andy Weir. Like, I want to read this. I want to check it out. I also have World War Z by Max Brooks. I loved the book Devolution by the same author, and I want to check this out. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is probably like less excited to read it, but I have heard you either kind of hate it or love it. So we will see. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I have never read a book by Lisa Jewell, I don't believe. And so it's time to check this one out. And then this one I am probably the most excited to read, and that is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I love Greek mythology retellings, and so really want to pick this one up. But yeah, that's my little pile of shame. All right, I'm gonna get all of these books back on the shelf, and then we'll talk some more. All right, there we are. There is my book of possibilities. Obviously, this is way more than I could ever read in a month, probably even in 2 months. Like, I wouldn't be able to finish all of these books before the end of the year. I actually just today went through and pulled off books that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get to these, and they went back onto my bookshelves. But I really enjoy having this kind of list of possibilities here that I can kind of pick and choose what I feel like reading and kind of go from there. On that note, I'm going to go crawl back into bed and hopefully feel better soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I will be back for more videos soon.